Hi everybody, it's the Yuki, the host of LakeShow Talks on YouTube and Facebook. I am here to give you guys some announcements on the channel in terms of upload schedule and what you guys can expect for the next couple of days as we get ready for your Los Angeles Lakers. So, tomorrow will be the last time I'm going to be doing a live show for weekend review. That is where we talk about Lakers news throughout this week. For example, rumors, signings, and all that good stuff. That is the last time we're going to be doing it as a live show. All right? Because coming up next week, we're going to be starting preseason material, including the talk of the schedule. We're going to be talking about the first half of the schedule, which will be released sometime during the start of training camp, and that will be on December the 5th. Training camp starts on December 1. Then we're going to be talking about preseason predictions on December the 10th. And December the 19th, we're going to start our preseason finale breakdown show. Okay? Then we're going to start breaking down games. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. So, the first game I'm going to break down as an individual video, but it will not be a live breakdown yet. So December 22nd or 23rd, we're going to have our first breakdown when the first Laker game is going to be played. All right? December 26th, we're going to have our very first weekly breakdown where we come together to talk about the games played during the week. All right? And we're going to be doing that every Saturday or Sunday, depending on what the schedule gives me. All right? Schedule as in real life schedule. Now, here's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. All right? We're going to be live Saturdays or Sundays at 5:30 Pacific time. Now, in terms of platforms, Facebook is for sure. YouTube, I'm still thinking about it. Twitch, I'm also thinking about it. And Twitter, I'm also thinking about Twitter as well. We'll see what happens in our first show if it's worth doing it on the other platforms. Okay? Now, let's talk about the individual game breakdowns because this one may be the one where I'm going to be talking about contention. Because I have two ways I can do this. The first way I can do the individual game breakdowns is that I'm going to take clips from the Saturday show or Sunday show. I'm going to split those up into the individual games that when we talked about it. And I'm going to re-upload that as a new video based on that particular game. For example, we can have Lakers versus Mavericks, Lakers versus Spurs, and Lakers versus Heat. So all three games will have their own video plus the live stream edition where you get all three games at once. Okay? Or here's another thing I can do. The second option, if you guys like it, and depending on what my schedule gives me next year in school, we can do individual games. For example, if a game happens on Monday, let's say 12:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. I should say, I can upload a breakdown individually for that game with notes and stuff in in-depth fashion, like our shows have been doing it. We can do that on the day of the game or the day after the game. Depends on if they're gonna be playing a back-to-back. All right. And then we can do that for each game, and then we're going to recap everything on the actual live shows on Saturday. So if you like option one, where we split it up, let me know in the comments. Or if you like option two, where we do individual games on the day of or day after, then we recap on Saturdays, vote for option two, all right? In the comments below. Now, when it comes to Laker news, like injuries, suspensions, or anything else I need to cover, that we would normally cover during free agency. I'll actually not do everything. I'll only do it when required. For example, let's say that the Lakers traded some player for some player during the season. Then I'll do a video. Let's say, for example, LeBron James has a hand injury. Then I'll do a video. But the everyday videos are going to start to slow down a bit as we get ready for the season, all right? And then we have extracurriculars. So anything with fantasy or odds on favorite, that stuff, I'm actually going to include that as part of the live show in their own segment. The only exception is fantasy because I usually don't play fantasy basketball. However, I will be talking about odds on favorite, point spread, all that good stuff when it comes to the Laker games on the live show. Okay, I'll explain the segments in just a moment. Speaking of the segments, let's talk about what types of segments we're going to have our live shows on Saturdays or Sundays. First segment is the big one. That's the breakdown of the games for the week. So any game that is done during that week, we will break it down in a short format. We'll be talking about the stats for the starting five, quarter by quarter breakdown, and the MVP of the game for the breakdown the game segment. Then we're going to have a question and answer session where you guys can have questions about the show or about the game itself. Now, keep in mind that even during the breakdown of the game segment, let me know if you have a question in the chat because I'll be happy to answer your questions at any time. It's just that I also have its own segment if you guys want it, right? Next segment we're gonna have is a sports better segment, where if you guys play like the sports betting, sports book, we're gonna try to have a segment for that. We're gonna be talking about favorites and underdog, Lakers only games, of course, and then we're gonna be talking about where should I put my money. Now, keep in mind that it's also my first time talking about like odds on favorite. All right, so let me know if I make a mistake or not, so that I can correctly analyze it later on for future videos. And then the final segment is going to be like a preview of the upcoming games and talking about the final thoughts, what I thought about the week. Okay, so that's what I have in store for you guys the next couple of weeks. Now, when it comes to on-demand stuff, when can you guys expect the videos? The live shows will be on demand, most likely on the night of the show. So like at night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, unless I decide to go live on YouTube, then it will be on demand sometime at night or on Sunday mornings or Monday mornings. We'll see. All right? When it comes to individual games, depending on which option you guys like, if you guys want the individual games the day of or day after or day of strategy, then it's going to be on that day. Or we can split up the clips and it's going to be on demand the same day. Now keep in mind, don't just go for the on demand option just because it looks nice. I want you guys to really think about it because I want you guys to help me out with the channel as well. So if you guys want the games individually on the day of or day after the game, and then we recap everything on a live show on Saturdays or Sundays, let me know, okay? Just want to make sure you guys understand that I'm reaching out to you guys, what you guys want, okay? All right? And then we can do predictions. And that's it for the announcements. I will touch on these announcements tomorrow during the weekend review. But until then, have fun, go Lakers, and enjoy.